I want to start this video off by bragging a little bit, all right? Hear me out. All right, so... That was loud. Some of you might be able to recognize what that is. It is the old water table for the CNC plasma table cutter table plasma. This, except the old version. If you follow my fabrication page, or even think I talked about it in one of my videos here, the plasma table's been out of commission for about a week now. Because of this. Not because of that. That was me practicing welding, because I'd never welded stainless steel before, so that's those are a bunch of my attempts. Not sponsored, not endorsed in any way. I wish. Langmuir hit me up. Langmuir is the company that makes these CNC plasma tables. I absolutely love this thing. I mean, you've seen me get my use out of it. Pretty much every project we ever make, I use it. Great machine, absolutely impeccable. I don't think I've ever used that word, impeccable. Insane customer service. Any issues I've had, they've sent out replacement parts, same day, free of charge, all that. Love them, absolutely love the company. But I'm gonna complain. The stupid water table that comes with the Crossfire Pro, which is the table that I have, is so dumb. The goal of the water table is to hold water, believe it or not, or plasma fluid, which is just more expensive, but you don't have to drain it every time, whatever. You put your metal on these little slats right here, the torch goes, cuts things. You've seen me use this before. This table underneath the slats holds the water or the fluid to help cool everything down, minimize sparks, all of that. Because it holds water or fluid, it should be watertight, right? To save on shipping costs, they send you this water table in 2 halves, and they give you some hardware and some silicone, and you're supposed to silicone the seam and then bolt them together and kind of crank it down. It leaks. It didn't leak for like a month, and then it started leaking slowly, then it started leaking more, and then it leaked a lot, so I took the whole table off, resealed it, re-glued it, like sucked it together. It was good for like a week, and then it leaked. Just lame, right? But it gets lamer. You see these holes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 total. Those go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into this tube right here, and that's what mounts the water table to the actual table itself. And they give you these, which are little self-tapping screws with a little rubber grommet or bushing, whatever you call that. And you have these holes at the bottom of something that's supposed to be watertight. That's just asking for more leaks. But wait, it gets dumber. Those holes, which are underneath where these go, again, they bolt into this directly. If they leak, if that little rubber grommet fails and you have a slow leak, you won't ever even know because it's gonna be draining into this tube because you'll never see it. You'll never know it's leaking. I got curious one day and I popped this off, and sure enough, there was water building up in there just rusting because it had been leaking without me knowing. Lame, right? Lame. But wait! It gets worse. This is the drain, okay? You can see, if I lift it over here, it, bolt on both sides with a big old nut there. There's a little threaded drain plug that you can plug into that. Do you see the issue though? Look how the drain sits on top of the table. It's not flush. That's almost like a 1/4 inch up off of the bottom of the table where the water sits. So when you remove the drain plug and you drain the water, you're always left with at least a 1/4 inch of water because the water can't go up into the drain hole. Which is what the majority of all of this because this is all stainless steel, but you can see it's stained all right because you have all this rusty gunk water, like a 1/4 inch of it just sitting there even after you drain it because it can't drain. Lame, right? But I did things. This is where I'm bragging. Let's just take these off so I can show you my master craftsmanship, all right? Half kidding. I could have done this a million times better if this was my first sort of project like this. First time ever welding stainless steel. But I will say, it got the job done. The first thing you may notice is that those 6 holes that are here on both sides are no longer there. We've patched them up and grinded them down. They don't exist. You may also notice that the drain hole actually sits flush with the table. There's no 1/4 inch of that drain sticking up above the top there. And if we come down here, you can see that I just welded some pipe onto the bottom of the table here. And again, I'm not gonna say the welds are pretty, but it was my first time ever welding stainless. This is thin too. This is 18 gauge stainless that I had to weld some Schedule 40 pipe to, so I had to be careful. Again, it's not this one's definitely better. This was my second one after I got some practice in. You can see here, this was the most tedious part, that we don't have the stupid little bolt that they included, right? And we just went through and welded that entire entire seam. Had to go through every single little nook and cranny where the bolts would go, because this has to be watertight because the water sits above that. All the way through. And again, this is thin, so you can't put too much heat on it or else it'll warp and get all crazy. And then here you see that we have these brackets that I mounted to the side of the table instead of straight in through the bottom of the table. We were able to bypass all of these holes, which were huge potential leaking sites, by just making those little brackets on the side. I may be a little too proud of it, but I like it is good. The first table, the original table, it was great. It served its purpose. It held up for about a year. Oh, again, going back on Langmuir's customer service, they sent me that new table completely free of charge. I emailed them asking like, hey, how much is a replacement table? And they're like, okay, it's on its way. And I was like, wait, what? So again, I'll talk my shit on how dumb the original water table was, but they do have some amazing customer service. Again, there really was no reason for me telling you that. Like, that was strictly just me showing off because I'm proud of it. But we have a plasma table again, so we can start using it again. It was out of commission for about a week, I want to say, and I got some custom orders, and I kind of wanted to show the process of how that works. Boom, grab our little caps, all right? Boom, screw them on here. New and improved drain plugs, right? Would you look at that? Beautiful. Kind of a funny camera angle. You guys are way up there, all right. Water. Would you look at that? We have water in the water table, right? And we come down here and there is not a drop coming from anywhere, baby. That is a success. This video is supposed to be about making a cool custom fingerboard obstacle, and instead the whole video was me talking about the repairs we did. Preventative maintenance, actually. By now, you've probably figured out that I've really been enjoying this whole fabrication thing. From our first, I don't even want to show it, dude. Our disgusting first attempt at making a skatable rail, to the really cool and just different creations we've made, from like the modular bump-to-bar rail obstacles, to the 30-foot rail, to the roller coaster rail. Like, all of this stuff has been so fun. And then on top of that, a bunch of fingerboard rails and fingerboard obstacles. And that's sort of what's been funding this whole thing, actually, which has blown my mind. Pretty recently, within the last 2 or 3 weeks, I enabled a custom orders form on my website, where essentially it's just that. It forwards me an email. You'll provide the information, you know, the dimensions of what you're looking for, size, shape, color, all that. It doesn't even have to be fingerboard related. That's just been what has been the most popular. And then I price it out and I give you a quote, and then, because I'm probably gonna get an influx of inquiries from this video. For fingerboard obstacles, at least, the minimum is $50 for a custom rail. That's what it starts at, and then depending on materials and labor, it goes up from there. Just want to make that clear in case that's, you know, out of your budget, so you don't waste anyone's time. Inquire, why am I doing so much with my hands? Anyway, where I'm going with that is that I've had a bunch of custom orders, and because the plasma table's been down, I haven't been able to do anything about it until now. The rail I want to work on today, the customer paid their deposit already, got everything ordered that we need for it, and I want to get it done for them today. They sent me a description of what they were looking for, as well as rough measurements and whatnot, and then I went through and I modeled something, sent it over for revisions. We decided on a final draft. Here it is. It is a rail bench combo. It's all one piece, but you can skate it as a bench, obviously, a little manual pad, or it has this flat bar rail attachment off to the side. The customer was super happy with the model that I made, and I got everything ready to cut, and now it's time to no, we don't whip it. Bring it onto that thing. For this obstacle, it uses 1/4-inch plate steel as well as 12 gauge. The actual like top of the bench is 12 gauge. So we need metal. Luckily, I have some of that. Because we're using multiple different materials, we have that 1/4-inch as well as the 12 gauge. I look so sick in these. We gotta break it up into sections. So right now I'm just cutting out the top of the actual bench itself. I made a whoopsie on the first one. We're not gonna talk about that though. So I got this one out, and that is going to be our top of the bench. I think the dimensions look great on that. Change of plans. I was actually just going through my emails with that customer, and they made it clear that they wanted it to be a manual pad as well, and they didn't want their wheels to fit through those grooves. And it's looking like it might be close. So I'm gonna go check really quick. I do have some bigger wheels right now. I'm rocking the Yurth recycled skateboard. Like, these are real skateboard wheels that were, you know, put on a lathe and made into fingerboard wheels. Yeah, I mean, I think if you had smaller wheels, you might be getting caught in that. I think I'm gonna save this for, I don't know, a personal project, or see if I can use it for something else. But I wanna make sure the customer gets what they want, so we're gonna cut out another one. Pretty much the exact same thing. I just made the little grooves a bit smaller. There we go. I definitely think they'll be happier with that. Super small difference, but you can see the difference in the gaps. And like, dude, that's the thing I've learned about making fingerboard stuff, is everything's miniature. It's very small scale. So little tiny details and stuff like that, like, it really does make a big difference, but that's definitely gonna be better. All right, so now we're gonna be swapping over to the big boy, the 1/4-inch plate steel. I get so scared having my 240 right there, but it's incapacitated right now, so we can't move it. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a lot heavier. Same thing here. We're just cutting out the legs out of that 1/4-inch plate. Pretty similar. He wanted them similar to the curved bench design that I did, but because the base is wider, I just widened the feet. So, let's get to cutting. Oh, no, I forgot to push record. Let me just grab one of these. Just want to make sure all the dimensions look right and everything. Cool. Yeah, that looks perfect. All right, now we have the little square, because we're gonna have a round rail on top of that, but that's gonna be mounted on top of that because we're gonna have a rail on top. I don't know how interesting you guys find this. I just really like documenting it. Like, I don't know, it's fun to me. I really like watching things come together, so I'm trying to, like, show you guys it come together. I'm not gonna forget to push record this time though. Pulled the drain plugs, draining the table, and it's actually draining all the way, because it can now, hooray! These are the pieces of our rail, and you see they definitely need a bit of cleanup. You got some dross and mill scale and all sorts of nasty metal stuff, which is why we have the bucket of acid that I should be wearing gloves for, but I'm not. We have this little strainer thing that I toss everything into, and then we gently douse it into the bath of muriatic acid. That's gonna sit for like 30-ish minutes, maybe a little bit more. And I'm gonna work on cleaning up the shop a little bit in the meantime. But I'll see you guys once that's done. Out of the acid we go. Make sure everything's drained out, and then dip it in the baking soda water to neutralize the acid, and then that's it. You can see it starts to strip away the mill scale on top of the metal, and if we like scrub it, it really starts to come off there. What I do is I hit it with the wire wheel and it fully cleans everything off. You can see the difference that makes. It's just bare, raw metal now, which makes welding way easier because we TIG weld everything, and how clean the material is really matters. It helps the powder coat after, and it just, I mean, it looks way better. And then we take our little legs upstairs here for the laser. Place them on the laser bed there, and again, as always, every single time I show the laser, I gotta shout out Hautien. They made this possible, and this is like the coolest thing to me. For those that don't know, they were kind enough, to gift me the machine, which is crazy. I cannot say thank you enough. We've been talking back and forth, and they're open to the idea of sending me another laser as well. I want a CO2 laser to do like fingerboard grip tape and wood, fingerboard, skateboards. This is a fiber laser, so it focuses more on metal. Obviously, I mean, full transparency, the more traffic and attention and social media and sales I'm able to bring them, the more likely that second laser is to happen. So I'm gonna have their socials linked down below in the description, as well as an affiliate code that they gave me that gives you a discount if you buy anything from Hautien, as well as it tracks any sales that I bring in. Lasers are really cool. I cannot recommend Hautien more than I already have been. Like, they have been amazing to work with. Oh, you can see here, I was playing with just some different engravings, kind of seeing what's capable, what I can do with it, but we've been having a lot of fun with it. Anyway, that is besides the point. You can see here that I have the logos framed up on our legs here. Got our sick laser glasses per usual. I've been getting little time lapses for both my social media and Hao Tian's social media as well. So we have the phone set up. I want to do a deep engrave into the actual metal itself, as opposed to like this type of thing where we take off a layer of the powder coat. It's gonna do a bunch of different layers, deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the metal until it gets our logo. So, let's begin. We still have the time lapse going right now. I just like, dude, lasers are so cool to me. I don't know what it is just undeniably cool what's happening. Like, look at that. How is that even doing that, bro? It's just magically coming from there. That is so crazy to me. Look at that. I don't know, I'm just completely fascinated by that. That is the coolest thing. Doing its final little cleaning pass right now. Should be one more layer. That's just to remove some of like the charring and just clean it up a little bit after the deep engraving. This one should be the last one, I think. There you have it. That's a wrap. While these were engraving, I just went and cut this. It's just a 9.5-inch long rod to match the length of the actual bench. Beveled the edges a little bit just to make it nice and clean. And then that's gonna rest on top of that square rail, essentially like that. And then that contraption is gonna go like that. And there you have your little ledge rail thing. All we got left really is welding. We just gotta assemble everything. Got my magnets ready. You know, legs are gonna go boom, boom. Those are gonna go together, and then that all gets plopped on there. Okay, I like the welding's like very therapeutic. At least TIG welding. It's one of my favorite parts of it. And then powder coat. So we're almost done. Welding is done. Look at this thing, dude. I think this is coming out so good. I mean, it looks exactly like the mock-up, the model that they approved. So I'm hoping they'll be happy with it, but if they're not, I'll be happy with it. The dimensions look really sick. This is a really cool one. It has some heft to it too. Yeah, this is a good one. Time to whip out the powder coat rack. The customer requested a specific color that I ordered for that project, this specific project, and it just came in. It's like it's almost honestly kind of like this. It's like a metallic silver. I think it's really gonna tie it all together. We'll put it right in the middle.
Shout out to whoever gifted me this to my P.O. box. I've been using this a lot. You saved my lungs, I appreciate it. I kept forgetting to get my own, then someone sent me this. It's been really helpful. Anyway, we got the powder loaded up into the powder coat gun, and now it's just a matter of spraying it. Got the oven preheating, so once it's done, we can just toss it in there and wrap this up. This is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. I think this is going to be a really cool color. And now, here she goes. In you go. Enjoy.
My timer just went off, so turn everything off. This is going to be my first time seeing the color. Ooh, dude, that looks sick. All right, we're going to let that cool for a little bit, and wow. It has, I don't know if you're able to see it yet, but this really cool little like sparkle to it. This is a really sick obstacle. All right, I took a couple pictures to send to the customers to make sure they're happy, obviously, but I'm happy with this thing, dude. This came out really, really cool. The color is unreal. Let me pull my flash out. Do you see the sparkle? That is such a cool powder coat color. I added these little, I forget what they're called. My friend sent me a link and recommended that I use them for some of my fingerboard feet. It helps with anti-slide, you know, it kind of sticks them to the ground there and it evens any imperfections out. There you have it though, doing a little 360 action here, trying to show it from all sides. The height is the main thing that the customer requested. So from like the bench height from the ground to here, as well as from the ground to here. So I worked with those high, oh, and then the width. They wanted a specific width here. And I think given the measurements, I think it came out super sick. Goes into the custom order pile. Look at that, it's growing, baby. Well, I guess this is just that all of those are one person. So we only have 2, but still, it looks like a lot. So yeah, man, I mean, dude, I love this. I love making things, and I hope you guys like watching me make things, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of it. As always, thank you guys for watching. I gotta go handle this, because that's a whole nother can of worms. Thank you guys for watching. Channel members, thank you obviously for supporting per usual. You guys know my tier 3 channel members get 24-hour early access to all of my product drops on my website. I think we're supposed to get a bit of rain starting tomorrow, and then after that we can get back to making some cool skate rails and skating them and having fun. But I mean, today is a beautiful day. All right, catch you guys next video. Appreciate you. Peace out.